Y. Chandrachud and Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, S. Ravinder Bhad, Hima Kohli and P.S. Narasimha were unanimous that is beyond the remit of courts to issue a positive direction to the legislature to accord legal recognition to the same-sex marriages. The judges were also unanimous in giving a go-ahead to a high-powered committee proposed by the centre in May to examine the concerns of same-sex couples and moot certain corrective measures. The judgments, separately authored by the CJI and Justice Kaul, Bhatt and Narasimha, also refused to annul or tweak the provisions of the Special Marriage Act to include the state would be under an obligation to ensure a bouquet of benefits for the non-heterosexual couples as permissible under the law.
And throughout the word queer has been used as inclusive of not just same-sex couples but also trans couples. And this is very important because it includes non-binary people. And there are various aspects of protection under the criminal law that have been very specifically elucidated and take the law forward. There were judgments that spoke of the obligation of the state to look at civil union, to examine the way in which the relationships of queer couples must be respected and recognized in terms of the various accoutrements to a long and solid relationship. The Chief Justice and Justice Kaul also spoke of the right of queer couples to adopt. And this is something that was extremely important because they looked at the CARA guidelines and they found that a loving home is something that a queer couple can provide as much as any other couple. And they recognized that explicitly. Unfortunately, Justice Bhatt did not agree with that and felt that this is something that should be examined more closely. There were some opportunities today, I believe, that have been pushed off to the legislatures, and the central government has made their stand clear with regard to marriage. We hope that their committee will ensure that civil unions are recognized and that the concomitants of marriage are then brought in to law, at least with regard to civil unions. But I will also say that the Congress and other governments in power in the states have many opportunities to bring into law the recognition of rights and the recognition, for example, of a partner's right to make medical decisions, because they can legislate on health, they can look at employment non-discrimination, they can look at, there's a lot that can be done. And if it is the legislature's responsibility, when the opposition parties speak, those that are in power in the state governments, let us not hear mere condemnation or any detraction from anyone else's position. Let us see affirmative work to protect the rights of all citizens. If they say that they stand with all citizens, let them put their money where their mouth is and let them put their democratic mandate where their mouth is and protect the rights of all citizens in legislation, in office orders, in notifications, everywhere that queer rights deserve to be protected. If there's anything that we heard today that was unanimous, it was that queer citizens have rights, that marriage is not something that they are going to give us today, but that the rights of queer citizens must be protected and the state governments can protect them today.
Majority judgment 3 जजेस की है. उन्होंने पिटिशंस को डिसमिस किया है, लेकिन इसे डिसमिसल के तौर पे नहीं लेना चाहिए, बिकॉज उन्होंने कई पॉजिटिव स्टेटमेंट्स दी हैं राइट्स के बारे में. उनकी रूलिंग जो थी, इट टर्न्ड ऑन फाइंडिंग दैट द राइट टू मैरी इज नॉट अ फंडामेंटल राइट पर से under the constitution. People may agree, people may disagree on what the impact of that statement is. Obviously गौर से और डिटेल में सारी जजमेंट्स पढ़नी पड़ेंगी उनके इम्पोर्टेंस के लिए, बट इन माय ओपिनियन इशू को फोर में लाने के लिए, और जिस तरह से आर्ग्यूमेंट्स गई हैं इतने एलिवेटेड लेवल पे ऑन जेंडर, सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशंस, इन दोनों के अंतर पे बहुत विचार किया है हर जज ने। और हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट के लिए ग्रेटफुल ही हो सकते हैं बिकॉज अपना कीमती समय जजेस ने रखा सामने, और जैसे भी डिसीजन आया उससे हमें कुछ ना कुछ जरूर आगे मिलेगा। बट ये सही है कि फाइट इज ऑन। I think, adoption was not front and center as an issue. It was an issue. The issue was of marriage equality. So I think perhaps they felt that detailed arguments had to be led, detailed considerations had to be gone into regarding the psyche of a child, जो कि adoption में किसी घर में घुसता है और उनको किस तरह की stability चाहिए होती है। तो I think that the majority decision उस पे based है। मैं उससे बिल्कुल agree नहीं करती हूँ because single parents also have the right to marry.
As part of the statewide movement under Apna Dal Kamarewadi, a protest was held at the statue of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar located at Hazratganj of UP capital Lucknow. The protesters wearing black bands demanded a CBI investigation into the murder of Sonelal Patel. Wreaths were also laid on the death anniversary of Dr. Sonelal Patel. Apna Dal founder Dr. Patel died after he was attacked during a public meeting in PD Tandon Park in Allahabad.
आज डॉक्टर सोनेलाल पटेल जी को गए हुए 14 वर्ष हो गए। 17 अक्टूबर 2009 और उनके जाने के बाद से लगातार हम लोग हर मौके पर, हर दिन और हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे लगातार ये मांग कर रहे हैं कि डॉक्टर सोनेलाल पटेल जी की हत्या की सीबीआई जांच हमारी मांग है। और निरंतर 14 साल से मांगते हुए भी आज भी वो मांग पूरी नहीं हुई है। हमें सिर्फ न्याय चाहिए और उस न्याय की आशा में ही हम लगातार ये अपनी मांग रखते हैं। डॉक्टर सोनेलाल पटेल जी के परिवार के एक हिस्से को सत्ता में रहने का एक मौका मिला, 10 साल से सत्ता में है, लेकिन अभी तक हम ये नहीं समझ पाए कि 2009 से लेकर 2015 तक जिनके लिए डॉक्टर सोनेलाल पटेल की हत्या की मांग, सीबीआई की मांग जो है वो सबसे ज़्यादा प्रथम वरीयता की थी, 2015 के बाद ऐसा क्या हो गया कि पूरी ताकत सीबीआई जांच को रुकवाने में की जा रही है। देखिए, यही हम जानना चाहते हैं, इसी न्याय की आस हमने लगाई हुई है सरकार से, क्योंकि सामाजिक न्याय के पुरोधा हैं डॉक्टर सोनेलाल पटेल और उनकी मौत कैसे हुई, हमारा पुरोधा हमारे बीच में से कैसे गया, ये जानने का हक और अधिकार परिवार को भी है, समाज को भी है और उनको भी है जो उनको फॉलो करते हैं।
Despite increasing numbers of patients getting admitted in hospitals due to fever in Sisandi village of Mohalaganj in Uttar Pradesh, medical department has refused to term it as dengue outbreak. It has been reported that no arrangement has been made for testing in government hospitals and patients are preferring to get treatments at private hospitals instead. In his address to the concert on the opening day of Israel-Palestine Parliament's fall session on October 16th, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel has started learning from the failures that led to Hamas' deadly infiltration on October 7. The reasons for the disaster that occurred will be investigated and have started drawing conclusions, he said. Calling on the world to unite to defeat Hamas, Netanyahu issued a stark warning to Lebanon's Hezbollah terror group and to Iran. Don't try us, you will be severely harmed. That is all we have for this bulletin. Thank you for watching Hornbilltv.